Start the pitch.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining today's SAT webinar, hosted by Allen Global Studies Division. In this session, we'll walk you through the importance of SAT effective preparation techniques and the pathway to top global universities. Our first guest, Mr. Angat, who is an Ivy League admission consultant with a remarkable track record of guiding over 3,000 plus students into top universities like Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Oxford, Cambridge, and many more. With a 95% success rate, he has worked with students across 50 plus countries. He has also been associated with leading research institutions such as Yale, Carnegie Mellon, and many more, contributing to advanced work in AI, bioinformatics, medical imaging. His expertise combines admissions and research to help students build their strong profile for top global universities. Good morning, Angas sir. Our second
Good
guest,
morning,
Ms.
sir.
Kovida, who is an experienced English language and communication professional. She currently serves as a business mentor for women entrepreneurship platform G20 India, guiding women entrepreneurs nationwide. At Allen Global Studies Division, she leads academic and training initiatives while mentoring students and teachers. She is also a British Council speaking examiner and a member of IATEFL with qualifications like CELTA from Cambridge, certifications from Trinity College London, and IIT Kanpur. Beyond her professional work, Ms. Kovida has been a speaker, panelist, and curriculum designer with recognition for her contributions in education, culture, events, and research. Welcome, Kovida ma'am, and good morning.
Hi, Deepesh sir. Good morning. Thank you for such a warm uh, background and information. Thank you so much.
So, over to you, Kovida ma'am.
Right. Hi, everyone. Good morning. I'm happy to see everyone here on a Sunday morning, and I'm also happy to see the number of participants here. The students, they are really inquisitive and they have a lot of questions about SAT is what I feel looking at the number of participants increasing every second. Thank you for handing it over, Deepesh sir. Before we begin, I'd like to start with a quick overview of the SAT exam. What exactly is included in the SAT exam? What is the structure? How do you go about it? What's the scoring criteria? So, a quick introduction of the SAT exam, and then we will proceed ahead with the rest of the details. So basically, SAT is a standardized test with that was initially considered to be used for just US college admissions, but now it is used for other universities as well, which we will talk about in the due course of time as we proceed with the SAT webinar. It is administered by College Board, so all the resources that you find through the website of College Board, they're going to be all authentic because the test is administered by them. Very recently, the SAT has been fully transitioned into the digital format, including outside the US in many testing centers. So if we talk about the paper pattern, there are two main sections. One is the reading and writing section, and the other one is the math section. The reading and writing section is also known as the verbal section, and which is also known as the English section. And the other one is the math section, also known as the quant section. Now, each of these sections, it is divided into two modules each of equal time and number of questions. So for verbal, you have two modules, module 1 and module 2. And then for quant also, you have two modules, module 1 and module 2. The first module of each section is a baseline module containing a mix of easy, medium, and hard questions. And based on your performance in module 1, module 2 in the same section will have higher difficulty or lower difficulty. This is what makes the test adaptive. So when we talk about the digital SAT, it's an adaptive test. The way you perform in module 1 determines the type of question paper you'll get in module 2. So we can also say you yourself determine the types of questions you get in module 2. So you make your question paper there. Now, the reading and writing section, you have 64 minutes to solve the entire reading and writing section. 64 minutes and two modules. So 64 divided by 2, you have 32 minutes for each module. And you have 54 questions. Now 54 divided by 2, 27. 27 questions each and 64 minutes to solve them. If you go by time, you have approximately 1 minute, 18 seconds to solve every question. But what I suggest the students is solve every question in 1 minute. So even if you struggle with the rest of the questions, you are able to buy yourself some time from the questions you're able to solve quickly. Do not go by more than one question. We'll talk about the tips and tricks in the due course of time once we proceed with it. Maths, again, 70 minutes, two modules, 35 minutes each, 44 questions, 22 questions each. So 22 plus 22, 44 questions in total, 35 plus 35, 70 minutes in total. So the total testing time is 2 hours and 40 minutes, excluding the break. There has been a change. You do get a 10-minute break now. Sorry, you used to get it earlier also. So you get a 10 minutes break between the reading and writing section and the math section. Excluding the break, the total duration of the paper is 2 hours and 14 minutes. That's a little about SAT. Now, if I talk about, okay, the total marks for the paper, again, 1600 divided by 2, 800 for quant, 800 for verbal. So 800 plus 800 is 1600. There is no negative marking in the SAT exam. You get multiple choice questions. um, Okay, Dipesh sir, could you zoom? We've spoken about the digital. Yeah, you'll have to slide a little to the duration towards your right and my right also. Right, right, sir, towards your right. Mm-mm. We just spoke about the, yeah, yeah, again, towards more, yeah, you'll have to slide a little more. Mm-hmm. More, yeah. This is what we just spoke about. The duration of the digital necessity, which is 2 hour 14 minutes with a 10-minute break. That's what I just told everybody. I also told you about adaptive testing. So the digital SAT format, it is adaptive. The way you perform in module 1, the types of questions you get in module 2 are determined accordingly. That's what we just spoke about. Now, the essay section has been removed in the digital SAT version. This might or might not be an important piece of information for you, because I don't want you to get confused about the essay section, or maybe how do you have to write, or it's no more a part of SAT, so let's not even get into it. That might be confusing. Yeah, I'll come down to the calculator usage in some time. Okay. Now, yes, sir, you can stay there at the calculator usage. We will proceed accordingly. Now, if we do the section breakout, in the reading and writing section, I told you 54 questions, 64 minutes. All are multiple choice questions, and you have to focus on comprehension, analysis, grammar clarity, and all. Maths, again, 44 questions, 70 minutes. You get multiple choice questions plus free responses, and calculator is allowed throughout the exam. Now, in the reading and writing section, the skills tested are information and idea, where you have to interpret text or data; craft and structure, where they test your ability to find the purpose or maybe vocab in context; the third domain is expression of ideas, where they want to check some clarity, style, and logic; and then the fourth one is standard English convention, where they test your grammar, usage, punctuation, etc. So there are four domains in the reading and writing section: information and idea, craft and structure, expression of ideas, and standard English convention. Standard English convention is basically grammar. In the math section, you have algebra, where you talk about linear equations, systems, inequalities, etc. You have advanced math, where you talk about nonlinear equations, polynomials, exponents, etc. Then you have problem solving in data analysis, where you talk about ratios, statistics, graphs, etc. And then the fourth one is geometry and trigonometry: angles, circles, triangles, trig basics. That's what you talk about in the math section. Uh, in the reading and writing section, all the questions are MCQs. However, in the math section, you get MCQs plus student produced responses. That means guessing is encouraged. There's no penalty for wrong answers. Okay. I would very quickly like to talk about the areas where students struggle specifically in the verbal section, because most of these students, they are able to get through the quant section, but they get stuck in the verbal section, and that's where they're not able to find how to score. So I have tried picking up just 5 7 topics. I will not be explaining the topics in detail, but just talking about the task, the struggle, and the common errors before we proceed to the next things related to the SAT, and how is it going to help you in future. Now, the first one is vocab in context. The task is to identify the meaning of the word or phrase as used in the passage. The struggle is the students they rely on the dictionary meaning instead of the contextual meaning. The common error is the student pick up familiar but wrong synonym, or maybe they ignore the tone or author's response. So basically, these questions, they ask you to find the meaning of the word as per the given context. They do not expect you to know the meaning of every word, the dictionary meaning. Where the student struggle is, they actually call it word and context, but the students call it vocab questions. And that's where the problem is. Then main idea and central argument is where the students struggle. Your task is to identify the central idea, thesis, or purpose of the passage. The students, they focus on details instead of the overall theme. So the common error here is the students, they choose answers that are too specific or slightly off the topic. They confuse examples with the main point. That's where the problem is. Then you also have evidence based questions. Your task is to select evidence that supports the previous answer, or maybe paired questions or whatever. The struggle is the students pick lines that look correct but don't directly support the claim. There is no external knowledge required to solve the SAT exam, come what may. Choosing lines that the common errors are choosing lines with strong vocab instead of logical support, because you happen to go in a self doubt and you think इतना कुछ मुश्किल लिखा है तो यही होगा, and probably I don't know of the correct answer. That's why you go wrong. No, that's not. Go by what is logical. Not rereading carefully to match the claim plus evidence. I tell all my students it's very easy to crack the SAT exam only if you know how to cheat. Not from someone else's paper, but from the question paper itself. Please don't go and pick up someone else's paper and say, Ma'am told us to cheat. No, that's not what I'm telling you. I am telling you every answer is hidden in the question itself. You just have to know how to figure that out. And guess what? Every correct answer has an evidence also, so that you are sure of that answer. You just have to know how to bring it out from that question. The next is author's response plus rhetoric. So the task is to determine why the author is including a detailed phrase or structure. The students, they misinterpret the tone or assume personal opinion. Please keep your personal opinion or any pre-assumption or any previous knowledge outside the examination hall. It is of absolutely no use. Some common errors are you confuse information versus persuade versus analyze. So inform, persuade, analyze, these are three different things. We get confused. Overthinking and assuming hidden meaning. And you're not at fault. That's what we are taught. When you write your English answers or maybe other answers, what was the author trying to say here? And then try to find out hidden meanings. That's not what the SAT is about. We'll have to unlearn and then relearn how do we have to solve the questions in the SAT exam. And the last three topics for data interpretation. The task is to link information in the passage with data in the chart or table. The students, they misread graph or don't cross check with the text. So rushing through the graph, then picking the mismatched data is where you're not noticing units, scales, trends. That's where the students go wrong. Grammar and sentence structure. The task is to correct errors in punctuation, usage, or sentence flow. The students, they don't know precise grammar rules. That's where we all struggle. हमें क्या लगता है अगर वो सुनने में ठीक है तो वो सही है. That's not what it is. हम बहुत चीजें सुन सुन के भी गलत लर्न कर लेते हैं. And There has been no batch that I've taught where the students have not said this, ma'am. There's a lot of unlearning and then relearning. क्योंकि हमने कभी भी रूल्स पे इतना फोकस ही नहीं किया होता. हमें लगता है हाँ सुनने में ठीक लग रहा है ना. ही डिडंट न्यू, अरे डिडंट न्यू सुनने में बुरा लग रहा है, बट रूल क्या कहता है? व्हाई इज इट इनकरेक्ट? दैट्स व्हाट द प्रॉब्लम इज. दैट्स व्हाट वी नीड टू फिगर आउट. Misplaced modifiers होते हैं. That's a very lovely example that I give all my students is a very basic one as well. If someone says I love you, and you, this is a very Gen Z example that I take in my classes. If someone says I love you, and you have to tell the person that you also love that person, how would you respond? The common response that I get is I love you too. What if I tell you that's grammatically incorrect? I love you too means I love you too. That means I love someone else also. What you want to say is, I too love you. That is grammatically correct. But why did we not know it? क्योंकि हमने अभी तक I love you too ही सुना था हमेशा response. तो I love you too सुन सुन के हम भी I love you too करने लगे. That's incorrect. I love you too will be used in a context when you want to say I love someone else also, but I love you too. But when you want to say I also love you, it should be I too love you. That's a response to I love you. Why do I take this example? Gen Z बहुत अच्छे से connect करती है इस example से. दिस इज अ केस ऑफ मिसप्लेस मॉडिफायर्स. अब ग्रामर का रूल नहीं पता, सुन सुन के वही ठीक लगा और वही हमने क्वेश्चन पेपर में आंसर चूज कर दिया. दैट्स वेयर वी गो रॉन्ग. Subject verb agreement errors, wrong pronoun usage, then overusing commas and miss comma. हमें सिर्फ यही अभी तक पता है कि जहाँ पे हमें बोलते बोलते एक पॉज देना हो तो एक कॉमा लगा देंगे. That's not where we use a comma. There's a different rule to it. Misplacing punctuation. And the last thing that I see that the students struggle with is expression of ideas. The task is to improve clarity, conciseness, or transitions. Now, the students, they prefer long, wordy answers that sound smart. No. The common error is choosing unnecessarily complex phrasing, missing the most direct and concise option. हमें क्या लगता है, अरे डायरेक्ट है, ये थोड़ी हो सकता है, ऐसे इतना डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन कैसे पूछेगा? वो कभी कभी पूछ भी सकता है. बट व्हाट वी डू इज नहीं नहीं कुछ कॉम्प्लेक्स ढूंढते हैं. वर्ड एंड कॉन्टेक्स्ट में भी ये करेंगे. अगर हमें 4 ऑप्शंस दे रखे हैं उसमें से हम वो चूज करेंगे जिसका मीनिंग हमें नहीं पता होगा, क्योंकि हमें लगेगा कि वही तो करेक्ट आंसर है. बिकॉज यू डोंट हैव टू गो बाय डिक्शनरी मीनिंग. You have to go by the logical meaning. The meaning of the word in that given context is what SAT wants you to talk about. That's what I wanted to quickly run you through about SAT. I would like to hand it over to my colleague, Mr. Angad, now. But I will be taking up the questions that you have in the due course of time. The students, they might get a chance to raise their hand and we will answer the questions eventually. Over to you, Dipesh sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And you have explained very well with the relatable examples. Right. So now our second guest, Mr. Angad, who is going to explain like the importance of SAT for India में भी use आता है, बाहर में भी use आता है, in terms of profile, in terms of getting admission, scholarship, everything. Angad sir, over to you.
Thanks a lot, Dipesh sir. I hope so. I'm audible and visible.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So, hello everyone. I hope you have a lovely morning. Um, Again, as Govinda ma'am already explained you the basic structure or the skeleton, what is the difference between overall SAT mathematics, SAT English. Now, from here on, I'll be just telling you because I was just seeing some questions in the chat where most of you were asking I have a 1360 score or XYZ score. What are the chances of getting into universities? Again, definitely, if you are giving standardized tests, definitely, whether it's SAT or whether it's ACT, irrespective, it doesn't mean that you could only apply for universities in US or only eligible for the universities what I call so Ivy Leagues, the top university segment. Nonetheless, you still have an options for your SAT that you could showcase to the universities in India itself. Definitely, I'm stating there are some of the engineering schools which I considered most of the audience currently being present here from that domain, or more or less you have an option in the liberal arts, you have an option in the life sciences major. So One by one, I'll just go with some of the options to give you a glimpse. What are the some universities in India where you still have an option to submit your SAT scores, and definitely you could get an admission just like any other universities, in abroad. So the number one, the first one is the Ashoka University. Definitely, Ashoka is one of the top school in India that accepts your SAT scores. Ashoka is mainly, I could say, one of the top schools in India that is famous for econ, political science, history, business studies, data science. If any one of you are targeting or tapping in these majors, then I specifically feel you could give your SAT once. Uh, I mean, definitely, most of you are already preparing for your JEE and other exams. But all in all, I must say SAT could be one of your backup. Let's take an example, your ranks in JEE, or you personally feel that you're not getting that much desired score that you need to get into the top IITs, NITs, or even then the triple ITs. So one of the backup could be you could give SATs. It's still as a gateway, getting into the top schools. I could say these are some of the universities that comes in the QS World Ranking, the top schools, and definitely Ashoka is one amongst them. Just to give you a glimpse, if I talk about Ashoka, definitely Ashoka asks an average median line SAT score of 1400 or 1350 to 1400 ish, somewhere around, where I must suggest you are already working, you're already doing mathematics for your JE or might be any other exam. So that might not be a biggest factor or a deal for you to actually crack the SAT mathematics. But again, just to give you a glimpse, 770 to 780 are they more or less the basic requirements, and having a 700 plus is the basic requirements for English itself. So that's bit about the first university. The second one is APU. So Azim Premji is one of the university. Definitely, they conducts their own, I could say, entrance test, but nonetheless, they have or they accepts the SAT, that is standardized score. More or less, the requirements for Ashoka and Azim Premji is same. But if you're tapping in any university in India where your major goal is like मेरे को physics में major करना, or if you want to major something in the life sciences that includes biology, mathematics, environmental sciences, definitely I feel APU could be one of the best option where you could give your SAT, have some good score of 1350, 1400 plus, and doors are open for these two schools. Let me talk about the third one. That is specifically, guys, if someone is targeting, I could say, in the liberal arts or business as your specific majors, Flame is definitely a really good option for that. But more or less, Flame requirements are a little bit high in comparison, I could say, to the other universities, whatever I'm talking about. So more or less, if you have a requirements or if you're getting a score of 1400 or 1450 around, I must say you have an option of getting into Flame. Again, if you get 1450 plus score, that is like an add-on, I could say, then you still have an option to get or grab a scholarship of more than 50% in Flame University itself. So just to give you a glimpse, Flame is famous for the liberal arts, famous for the business administration, and the liberal arts, definitely a lot of majors could be the, whether it's fine arts, whether I could say political sciences, whether it's econ, media studies, psychology, data science. So these are majority of the majors that's being provided by Flame itself. I'll not be taking too much time speaking about the universities, but I'm just giving you a glimpse what could be a backup option considering the fact in all the three domains. Number one is your life sciences, second is your engineering majors, that precisely I could say STEM, and third is definitely your business finance major, which is I could say in the boom in the current market. So definitely yes. The fourth one is Shiv Nadar. I could say it is one of the greatest schools, because Shiv Nadar is one of the schools in India that follows the pattern of American standards. So here you have an option. Whatever you'll be doing in US, the same thing you'll be doing in Shiv Nadar itself. What they have two campuses precisely. So how that works, they have a major and a minor system, means you have a liberty take an example. I have couple of students, they say, sir, I'm interested into astronomy and I'm interested into business also. So how could I combine these two majors? That's what Shivnada will give you an opportunity. You could actually do your major, let's say in astronomy, and you could do minor in any other subject, whatever you're interested into. So more or less what I mean to say, you're not bounded with one specific major. That might be foundation is there in some of the universities in India itself. So again, Shivnadar is a really good option for your engineering, to be honest, if you're tapping in. But yes, Shivnadar accepts your standardized or your SAT scores, give you a good number of scholarships from the bursaries. If you get something like a score of 1450 again as an average or 1400 plus, I must say you have a good chances of getting into top majors, let's say computer science, electrical, mechanical. These are some of the top majors from the Shivnada, but again, they'll give you a lot, way more majors, whether it's economics, astronomy, as I was telling you, whether it's computational, biology, history, or anything that is related to artificial intelligence. That's what the Shivnada mostly promotes. Perfect. So let's talk about the fifth one, that is SRM universities in Andhra Pradesh. That is SRM University AP. So for sure, SRM is again a good, decent university for engineering precisely. So SRM accepts your JEE score as an entrance. They have their own entrance test also, but more and less they accept your SAT scores. So if you have a decent 1300 plus SAT score, then you don't need to worry a lot about that you need to give this external test. Might be you need to rely on your JEE scores, or you need to rely on your some other scores that is a grade 12 and all. Rather, SAT itself could be an entry ticket for most of these universities, whatever I'm talking about. Again, SRM is good if you're tapping in some of the good top majors. That's what told you about, whether it's computer science, mechanical, electrical, or anything that is more aligned towards STEM. Again, second last option is definitely Vellore Institute of Technology, that is VIT. So VIT is also one of the school or one of the universities in India that give you an option, or it is one of the, I could say, really decent or good university for computer science, electronics, mechanical, biotechnology, and business administration, that accepts your SAT score again with 1350, 1400 around. If you have a decent score, you still have an option to getting into VIT itself. So I'll just go last two one by one. The second last is AVV, that is Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham. That is again one of the good, I could say, decent engineering school that give you an option for engineering, business administration, biotechnology through your standardized course. And the last one is, so definitely there are some schools, let's say one of them is NIT Delhi, and I could say one of them is Triple IT Hyderabad, which is again one of the top schools. As you are mostly aware of that, JEE mains is one of the entry ticket, I could say, to getting into those schools. But more and less, if anyone might be in the session being present, that is from overseas outside India, they could apply to a channel called DASA, more or less, through Triple IT Hyderabad, where they will accept your SAT score. If you have 1400, 1450-ish around SAT score, then you still able to crack Triple IT Hyderabad for the same. But more or less, that's not an applicable option uh, for someone who is actually doing the grade 12 from India itself. And the same is applicable for NIT Delhi itself. They also have the same as an option. If anyone is from Gulf or any other country, you have both the options being open, whether it's Triple IT Hyderabad or whether it's NIT Delhi. So I think that's all about the pacer from my end. I just given them like a glimpse what could be the possible options in India, which might be some of them are skeptical that SAT is only applicable for universities in US. Um, I hope so now the dilemma and the confusion is now removed, that SAT could also be accepted in India, top universities in India too.
Thank you so much, Angad sir. There are a lot of information because I thought SAT is only useful for foreign universities, but as you told us, SAT is also equally important for Indian colleges as well. Uh, at my time, I didn't know, so I would have loved to take this exam. Uh, so we have a lot of questions in the Q&A. I'll take one by one. But Kovida ma'am and Angas sir, I would like to ask you the advantages of digital SAT and key strategies for success, like in terms of SAT score and performance. Angad sir.
Sure. So, definitely, as again, I am one of the quantitative trainer. I take mathematics for SAT, and definitely I'm teaching from uh, a long time now. So again, guys, there are certain I could say hacks that I'll be telling you for the digital SAT, or the key strategies I could say that will help you to get 1550 plus score. And definitely it will boost your overall, I could say, preparation. And Kovida ma'am will speak for the English section itself. So one thing, because I also have given SAT in my days, so there is one book normally that I used to follow, and that I normally tell to my students. There is a book called Black Book, that's by Sir Matthew. You could actually follow Black Book. That is a really good book. Considering the fact it has some of the predictive questions, what I have seen, and you will really get some really good tips from the black book itself, considering the questions, how the questions being asked, and what could be the best. I must say, the what could be the best questions that could be asked in your SAT mathematics section, as per the difficulty level, apart from the college board, whatever you're preparing from. Second, from my end, is that definitely I must say that you are preparing for other exams, whether it's your Indian exams for JEE mains, or might be any other XYZ exam. So time management is very, very important, guys. I must say, you need to take certainly 2 to 3 hours, or let's say 3 to 4 hours each week, to dedicatedly give for SAT prep, because SAT is not a cakewalk. You just prepare a week or a 2 week before, and you will get a 1550 plus score. More or less, as per overall my observation, I could say if you are giving an ample amount of 2 months, that is more or less 60 days of time, then you are good to go. You're good to go having a score of 1550 plus. Um, um, l- uh, Third definitely is one of the technique that I usually follow in my days, and definitely I'm telling you, try to follow the color coded feedback. What does that mean? Take an example: you're solving questions from quadratic equations, or you did a mock test and you, let's say, got 10 questions wrong. Assume it: two questions are wrong from quadratics, three are wrong from linear equations, four are wrong from circles. So try to make the color coding of that. The red means that questions or that topic you're making it wrong is very frequent. Yellow means it's medium, that you're not doing a lot. And green means you are safe. That means in most of the mock tests, you are doing it correct. Create an Excel sheet of that. And from that, you will see a trajectory from how from red it's moving to yellow and green. Now, why I'm saying so? Because it will give you a motivation factor, that how my color coded feedback changes from red to green color. So that is one of the technique that I used to follow in my days from my mock test and all. But I could say it could be one of the strategies you could follow for one of your I could say for the SAT maths thing. Last, I just speak about the calculator thing. So be familiar with the calculator, because with the Indian education system, guys, we are not pretty familiar how to use calculator for mathematics, because we already are so good do the calculations on our own. But again, Desmos is one of the calculator, I could say, that it will be useful in a lot of sections in your SAT. So try to get familiarity how to work with calculator. So whatever question solving you're doing from now onwards, try if you could do with calculator itself. So that's bit about the mathematics section. I think over there, ma'am, you could take it forward. What could be the best strategies for the verbal, or specifically for the English?
Uh, Thank you, Angad sir. I think I just spoke about it when I was speaking, and I spoke about different sections and where the students struggle. I'm going through the questions actually, and someone just said, if it is so easy, why is admission so less? So I just said that's probably because the test takers, they're not following the right strategy. That's the problem, and it's certainly not easy, but not an unachievable task either. Um, I think because we've already spoken about this before, Dipesh sir, can we pick up the questions very quickly so that
Yes, ma'am.
on the questions?
So there's a second question from a parent. My ward Vinaya got 1390 in SAT, what are the options she will get for higher studies in India and abroad? So Angas, you are the right person to answer this question.
I think Angad sir is disconnected. I think he would be joining in again. But options in India, Angad sir just told, and options abroad, there are quite a lot of universities abroad, specifically in the United States. And if there's more that you'd like to know about it, you can definitely get in touch with one of our counselors, and we are really looking forward to giving you a detailed counseling on how can you go about it, or maybe if you want to improve upon the score, do you want the child to take the test again, how do we have to go about it, we can talk about it for sure. Someone just said, can you explain about Blue Book? I was
Blue
just
Book,
typing the
yes.
response. So it is an official source of College Board to solve and practice mock tests before you sit for your exam. That's what Blue Book is. Oh, someone said, ma'am, tell slowly. I'm so sorry. I did not read it earlier. Otherwise, I would have worked at the pace. Thank you so much. Is there vocab in SAT? Yes, there is. You call it word in context questions. I just spoke about it when I was explaining about the different types of questions where the students struggle. But just a quick information that when we talk about vocab, it's not about the meaning of the dictionary meaning of the words. It's about the meaning of the word in the given context. So you don't have to necessarily know what is the meaning of the word in the dictionary. Total, how many questions will be there in the exam? We've already spoken about it. Okay. Ma'am, I was 10 minutes late because of technical. You can definitely watch the recording of the webinar. We are recording it, so it will be there.
What's the maximum score we need to get for getting into Ivy League? Uh,
1600. You've asked a maximum score. 1600 is the maximum. But you didn't ask the minimum score. You asked for the maximum score, and that's 1600. It says, what is the fee structure for this SAT program? Again, you can get in the page. Can you send in the contact number in the chat box so that people who are interested, they can get in touch with their counselors and we can
sure, ma'am.
get through. Someone has said, what is the fee structure of this SAT program? The page sir will be just sending the number of the counselors with you and the admissions team that can help you understand the program and how do we go about it. My daughter has dropped math from 11th grade. How to go ahead? Also, SAT is mandatory for which country? US specifically. Um, dropped math. And so, what exactly is she willing to do? You'll have to enlighten us a little more about what is her roadmap that she's planning. What are the subjects for SAT, Radhika? It is quant and verbal, maths and English. What are the hardships for the tricky mathematical questions? Okay.
I
Angad,
think, yeah, I'll answer it.
yeah,
The hardships definitely, who asked this question? Let me check.
it
Could you tell?
is anonymous attendee.
Okay, so the hardship for the mathematical part, definitely there are a few topics, and one of them, the hardships I could say, is your calculator, because as you're not familiar or you're not acquainted how to use calculator, might be in your grade 9, 10, and 11th mathematics, you use calculations. So now the number one thing is that you need to get familiar with the Desmos, how to do the calculations, how to create the graphs, how these topics functions and all works on the calculator itself. So one of them is calculator for the hardships. Second, there are certain topics what I feel could be challenging points or the pointers in a recipe mathematics. One of them is regression, which I feel creating regression on calculator as a topic becomes very challenging because we haven't done this topic before in a grade 10 and 11th itself. And for sure, in geometry part, I could say you need to focus more on the circle theorems and circle itself, because that's a trend I'm seeing from past 3, 4 digital SATs. The more difficult questions that's been coming are from geometry, and definitely that's from circle itself. So these are certainly some topics. I must say you need to focus on all the topics, but for sure, if you focus on all the major chunk of these three topics, then I feel you have a great chances of getting 700 plus in maths.
The next question here, Angad sir, is I'm currently an Allen IIT Enthuse batch student. The question says, I'm not sure whether I'm gonna go for higher studies abroad, but if I do, is the SAT exam valid for German universities in Germany? And also, if I give the exam here, what about it? We've already spoken about Indian university, so that must have really helped you. But Angad sir, if you could help with the German universities.
So again, specifically for the German universities, I could say if your grade 12 scores are compromised, if you feel so that you don't have a really good academics from grade 10, 11th, and 12th, again for German universities, SAT is not a requirement and they will never ask you to submit your standardized scores. But again, you could add that in your application just to showcase the compensatory part for your I must say the academics that's been hit, if it's mathematics or if it's English, just to showcase a quantitativeness of your portfolio. I mean, if you're tapping in some engineering or STEM majors, that could be one of the value addition. But again, for German universities, SAT is not a requirement.
Um, okay. Where can I get the SAT cutoff for various universities, colleges in India and abroad? Are cutoff change? Okay, does the cutoff change every year? When the counseling process will start, please share counseling process. Thanks. So for the counseling process, you can get in touch with us at any point in time. We've shared the contact number in the chat box. You can get in touch with the counselors. Angad sir, can they get a cutoff list, or what is the ideal score that they suggest? Ki isse upar to le aao, so it would be a good score.
So there is no specific thing such like this, but I suggest everyone try to get 1500 plus so that you'll be in a safer zone. For Ivy leagues or even for the non-Ivies, I could say for the sister Ivies, you need to have a 1550 plus as a decent score. So I just give you an example, guys. When I applied in my days, 5, 6 years back, Georgia Tech definitely takes a scores of 1350 or even 1400ish around. But nowadays, if I say for the Georgia Tech, the scores requirement are 1550 plus. So your scores definitely changes year by year. But as a suggestion, try to get a average of 1500 plus. So you are in the safer category for top 50 universities that are in US, or for sure that is outside US itself.
Okay. Um, Sir, India में most of the universities accept SAT score for foreign students. Don't expect they accept it for you as well.
That is for sure. That is for the NRIs whosoever asked this. But again, that is only the chunk where engineering kind of, let's say I talk about VIT and SRM when I was talking about this. But again, they have an option that you could submit your SAT scores. Even that for the Shivnadar I was explaining. So there is not a foundation that they only accepts the scores for the NRIs or anyone that is living outside the India. Whatever universities I just told you in couple of minutes, I think in last 15-20 minutes, Flame, Ashoka, Shivnadar, they all accepts the scores if you're from India itself.
All right. The next question is it necessary to answer logically or practically? Yes, it is, of course. But rather than practically, I would say logically, because you need to have an evidence for every answer. Specifically verbal, quant, sir, whatever you say, logically or practically.
Could you comment again that question?
Is it necessary to answer logically or practically in the SAT exam?
Okay, I must say both the skills are required actually for your SAT, as ma'am was already explaining when she was talking about the English. I must say you need to know how to cheat from the paper, that what she explained. Even I tell all my students in the mathematics, the time that you will lift your pen, at that time you are actually wasting 20-30 seconds. Always try to do the elimination method or try to solve 20 to 30% of the questions from the elimination method, and that is applicable not even in English, but that is applicable even in mathematics. Take an example, you're doing any question from the functions. If you will see the values itself, try to eliminate the answers rather you just solve it and try to get an answer. No one will give you appreciation for that you will get the answer. At last they will see that the answer is correct. So that is one of the technique that I suggest everyone that you need to follow, so both the skill sets being required whenever you are working for that.
The next question is, Angad sir, the number of questions is increasing and we have less time. I think we will be, just a quick information for everyone. We will not be able to spend more than 10 seconds on any question because there are a lot of questions and we would like to cater to most of them. When is a good time to prepare for SAT? That is after 10th, 11th, etc. Thanks. 12th is definitely not the right time. I mean, you can prepare in 12th as well. But because the students, they have a lot of other things also to take care of. So we generally suggest the students, you can either start practicing in 10th or 11th at max. That's what we suggest the students. You can take the test in 12th. ऐसा नहीं है जो बच्चे 12th में पेपर की preparation करते हैं उनका पेपर नहीं होता, ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं होता. It's just that थोड़ा सा जल्दी करेंगे तो थोड़ा से safer zone में रहेंगे. That's it. Because then you will be able to focus on other things also. How to give SAT? You can take the SAT exam by registering for the exam on the official college board website. वहाँ पे आपको SAT का exam के details मिल जाएंगे. Select the date and then you can go ahead with it. Okay. This is a very specific question that we would like to take in the end. I am a JE class 12 student in Kota itself. When exactly am I supposed to give the SAT? Now.
So, SAT Kota is not a center. Nearest center is Jaipur.
No, he says, when exactly am I supposed to take the exam?
When okay, so it depends, ma'am. We have couple of attempts every year. Like yesterday, there was a SAT exam.
Yeah. So he's a class 12 student. So
12
that's why,
student. So we
yeah,
have
that's
up
what I'm saying
three
now.
attempts still. We have
Yeah,
now, right?
now. This is the right time, but you can start preparing. Start preparing as early as possible. Or जो भी nearest possible attempt दे सकते हो, please prefer that one. Ma'am or sir, will recording of this? Yes, we'll try to get the recording for you. Someone has said, sir or ma'am, okay, but what next? We will receive the recording. Yes, you will. Sir, I've registered for PSAT, not given till now. Could you let us know if it's worth or for the sake of SAT preparation? Angad sir, your opinion about
Uh, yeah, PSAT, whosoever is, definitely I suggest you could try to give in grade 8th or 9th. That's what the standard even in the US is. It's like a prereq, I could say, for SAT because let's take an example. You're not familiar with advanced algebra, you're not familiar with geometry, so PSAT will be useful for you. But again, for the National Merit Scholarship, I'm not sure from which country you're from, if you're from US or from India. But for sure, I could say if you're in grade 8th or 9th, you could give PSAT, so you'll give a clarity how SAT would be there. And it will definitely add a value on your portfolio also.
Okay. So the next question is, as mentioned, NIT Delhi accepts SAT scores. So if IIT main score are less, but my SAT scores are good, so will NIT consider me?
I think that's what I was explaining. If your grade 12 is from India, that might be a challenging factor because as per whatever being mentioned by NIT Delhi, even for the Triple IT Hyderabad, you are or you have done your grade 12 something outside India, whether it's from Gulf or any other country, if you're from Singapore or Hong Kong, then that SAT scores are applicable for NIT Delhi and Triple IT Hyderabad, more or less.
I need guidance about universities in US and not in India. You can get in touch with a counselor. They will be in a good position to help you with it. Thank you so much for the question. SAT is only for non-medical branches.
Not really. SAT could be given by anyone, whether it's medical, non-medical, medical, non-medical, business, finance, anything. But more or less, if you want more information, I don't know which major you want to do. You want to do engineering or medicine, you could contact us. They will help you for the same. But for sure, SAT is applicable for all the courses.
Uh, I think I lost the question we were talking about. Yeah, are we eligible for scholarship at those scores for any universities abroad, Germany, Canada? So basically, I think the student wants to ask, SAT के score पे scholarship मिल सकता है क्या?
Yes, SAT के score पे scholarships मिलता है. So every university, I'll give you an example. Hong Kong have a one university called HKUST. If you get a score of 1530 plus, then you'll automatically be eligible for 100% scholarship in Hong Kong. Similarly, that is applicable in US. If you get a 1500 plus score, you'll get a merit-based scholarship. So just that's why I was telling you, try to tap in to get 1500 plus, and you'll automatically will be eligible for some good number of scholarships.
How should we proceed with our essays and application for the Ivy League universities? We'll have a separate webinar for that. I'm sorry we will not be able to answer that question right now, but you can get in touch with our counselors if it's really I mean the deadlines are knocking and you want to get in touch. We will be there to help you. Are Indian students non-NRI eligible for NIT Delhi or Triple IT Hyderabad through SAT?
It depends where are you living actually. If you're doing your grade 12 might be from some other country that I was mentioned, then definitely you're eligible for that. You could go through the DASA mode in triple IT Hyderabad, and similarly NIT Delhi also have the same mode.
You know, I answer every question. I want to see the number decreasing, but I see the number increasing. I like how these students, they're so inquisitive, and they have so many questions to ask. Um, Sir, ma'am, please explain about the extracurriculars needed for US universities. Again, we'll have a separate webinar, but you can definitely get in touch with our counselors for that. They will be able to help you with it. Can you please go through the process of admissions in the foreign universities through SAT? Sir, we'll take just quick 10 seconds to answer this.
Yes, so US could be one of them. Hong Kong, Singapore, Japan, even you could apply with Australia if your scores are not good. So these are the couple of, I could say, countries. Even in the Gulf, you have certain campuses. So some 5 to 6 countries they accept your SAT scores, and India is also one of them.
Okay, the tentative dates for digital SAT exam. No tentativeness. You could go to the website. You can see the exact dates. For example, September का exam कल ही था, 13th of September. October का exam अभी, and I think 4th, 5th of October. Yeah, that's the date. Then we have the November attempt, then December attempt. So basically, एक साल में 7 बार SAT का attempt होता है. So you can check the dates online. Tentatively exact dates मिल जाएंगी आपको. Are college board exam preps enough? I'd say college board के जो blue book के test है, yes, they are really good, but when you want to practice full length test, you might need some classes, you might also need some practice test. But if you think you're very good with it, just want to go ahead with college board, that can be a good decision. But if you think सिर्फ mock test से काम नहीं चलेगा, पहले classes पढ़नी होंगी, part test देने होंगे, फिर mock test पे आएंगे, then we are there to help you. Okay? Then what are the SAT scores required to get admission in the best US universities like Harvard, MIT? As Angad sir very rightly mentioned, but you can go ahead with it. Yes, you've already said it.
I think yes, if the top ones try to get in above 1550 plus, because that's the average benchmark. That's I mean universities have said. I mean, wherever you look, even online, they say 1500, 1520. But I must say competition is increasing year by year. So try to have a score of 1550 or plus. You are on a safe board then.
I'm preparing for JEE means in advance in Allen. What additional measures should I take to prepare for SAT? SAT classes. That was such a sweet question. Okay. Additional measures, as in, see, you're preparing for JEE mains. So that means you are somewhat aware of the math section. But verbal में you can struggle. Because that's what Anga sir we've seen. बहुत सारे बच्चे ऐसे होते हैं, quant फिर भी कर जाते हैं, but verbal में जाके अटक जाते हैं.
So true.
द रीजन बीइंग, जब आप जेई मेंस के लिए प्रिपेयर करते हो, जेई एडवांस के लिए प्रिपेयर करते हो, तो ऑलरेडी काफी टफ क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर रहे हो. सैट के लिए स्ट्रैटेजीज डिफरेंट है, बट एटलीस्ट आपका बेसिक क्लियर हो जाता है जेई की प्रिपरेशन में. I don't say it's same. I definitely don't say it is same, but strategies थोड़ा different हो जाता है. Verbal में आगे अटक जाते हो. So start preparing for verbal. That's where you might need a lot of help. SAT is also applicable for 11th student or not? Yes, you can take the SAT exam in grade 11. Ma'am, should I focus on JEE or SAT? Both. Have a plan A and plan B. Because आप जब जेई कर रहे हो तो आप क्वांट भी कर ही लोगे. आई एम नॉट सेइंग यू वुड नॉट नीड क्वांट क्लासेस. आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट एट ऑल. आपको टिप्स एंड ट्रिक्स, स्ट्रैटेजीज, ये सब समझने के लिए चाहिए होगा, बट आप वर्बल के लिए तो प्रिपेयर नहीं कर रहे हो ना. सो ऑलवेज हैव अ प्लान ए एंड प्लान बी. प्रिपेयर फॉर बोथ. और जरूरी नहीं है कि आप सैट के लिए प्रिपेयर करो तो आप जेई के लिए भी ऑटोमेटिकली प्रिपेयर हो, ऐसा नहीं है. For someone who has passed from GCSE in grade 10th, are they supposed to take IELTS?
So I just take it forward. If you have done British curriculum, it depends again which country you're applying for. If you're doing, if you have done GCSEs, definitely I'm thinking you'll be doing your AS and A levels. So for the UK universities, or even if it's IGCSEs, your English level proficiency is waived off, and that is so applicable with Indian CBSE English scores also. If you get 95 out of 100 in CBSE English as a predictive scores, most of the UK universities waive off your IELTS for the same also.
All right. So the next question is, I have often seen that SAT maths is 6th to 10th grade maths.
So actually, that's so true. It's not 6th to 10th. I could say it's 9 to 10th, more or less. But as I told you, the major problem is how to work on calculators. That is one of the biggest issues. And some of the topics definitely we haven't done specifically in grade 9 and 10. And speed and accuracy is one of the thing that is more important, which I'm pretty much sure you have gained in your JE prep. But for sure, as both the exams are the different polls, so they have a different pattern. You need to prepare differently for JEE and SAT. It's not like that if you prepare for JEE, you'll get a 1600 out of 1600 in SAT. So that's a biggest misconception.
Want the details whether it's online or offline and how many days in a week. They're talking about our SAT classes. So all our classes are online. We do not have any offline class. But what I can tell you here is that we have different batches. So we have one-on-one batches also. The frequency it varies. We have 2 classes a week, two for verbal, two for quant. We also have fast track batches. Just maybe have 5 classes a week. So it depends upon what is actually the requirement of the student. We can also have 2 classes for two classes each, or maybe all 5 days a week. One-on-one classes, sometimes one class a week. So it depends. You can definitely get in touch with our counselors and they will be able to help you with it. How much SAT score is required? We've already spoken about it. Could students taking biology, physics, and chemistry in 10th and 11th write the SAT even though it has math?
Could you repeat that question?
Could students taking biology, physics, and chemistry, that means medical students, in 11th and 12th write the SAT even though it has maths?
Definitely, because as we mentioned, maths is not something calculus or something, linear algebra kind of thing will be asked. Whatever you're preparing for JEE, that will never be asked in a recipe. The maths level is grade 9 till 10th maths, whatever you have prepared for your 10th boards, more or less, I could say. So it's pretty much manageable for medical and non-medical students too.
Is SAT applicable for 11th or not? Yes, it is. We've told this already, as in you can sit for the SAT exam in grade 11. Medical, okay, how much score we need to get into Harvard? We've spoken about it. Please explain about the extracurricular needed. You can get in touch with our counselors.
I think we did a session, if they could refer the recording from YouTube also. We did a session last week itself for the extracurriculars part for the Ivy Leagues.
Yeah. Minimum score for getting into Yale.
I think that's what the baseline I told you, 1550. That's if you get a 1500 or 1550 somewhere around, you're pretty much on a safer board for Yale, Dartmouth, Columbia, Brown, Northwestern, or any of the top school.
For the Ivy League, is SAT enough? No.
Not really. I have seen students with 1580, 1590 scores till they got rejection from Yale, Columbia, and Cornell. So never ever think just you have a good academics and good SAT score, you will get accepted to Ivy Leagues or top universities. So they will focus overall on your brand, overall on your portfolio, how you could showcase your motivation towards a major whenever you're applying for these universities.
I'm preparing for JEE. Can I apply for it? Yes, you can. Why not? There's no restriction like that. Sir, maths is SAT maths is very easy. It's from basic 6 to 10th in India. So how was it hard?
So I better suggest try to give a diagnostic. You will get a diagnostic. You could contact a counselors. They'll give you a diagnostic test. You will get a clarity how much you're getting out of 800. If you're getting above 750, I'm really happy. But that's what I'm saying. Getting a familiarity of the pattern itself becomes very difficult because see, exams are. If you know the topics, I must say exam is not difficult. But you need to know the pattern of the exam. That is more important.
I've used calculators and used Desmos online for the graphs in grade 9th and 10th. Okay, thanks. I mean, I like that piece of information.
But again, just letting you know, not all calculators are allowed or not all models are allowed in your SAT digital. So that is also one of the things that you need to take care of.
Yeah, but I like how students, they want to share that I've already.
Yeah,
This is so sweet. And I'm happy to see the students doing that already. Is that required for medicine abroad?
indeed, yes. if you're planning for US for pre-medicine, process remains the same. You could apply for the US. Again, if you are applying for Australian universities, you could still give SAT to compensate your academic scores, and that is similarly applicable for the Gulf universities too. So yes, medicine, if you're applying, you could give SAT.
Dipesh sir, we need your help to rescue now. There are a lot of questions that are going off track. The students, they want to know the extracurriculars required for US admission and all. So if you could just send in the number to them as a reply, as a response to their questions, because the increasing number of questions, I'm not able to figure out which one is relevant and which one is not. So I would want you to come to our rescue here and the rescue of the kids also. Why is this exam so underrated? No, it's not underrated. Do colleges do admission ba- do colleges do admissions based off SAT scores as well as 11th and 12th scores, or just SAT? No, you need 11th and 12th scores also. Just SAT is not the thing Angad sir just mentioned. Is the level of SAT easier than JEE or not?
I must say it is easier, definitely, as per your JEE means. But now, as of now, J means level is not as hard when we used to give 5 or 6 years back. But yes, for sure, it is more easier in comparison to JEE. But English definitely is one of the pain points for everyone.
Is SAT score accepted in MIT? Yes, it is. For the math section, what topics are most heavily tested or worth prioritizing? We can talk about that in our SAT classes. You can also get in touch with, we'll put you in touch with one of our teachers. They can
But
help.
just to give you a glimpse, Passport to Advanced Maths and Problem Solving and Data Analysis, these are the two majority of the units from where you will see more challenging questions. And definitely they have higher advanced mathematics topics where I could say more worth in your SAT mathematics.
Uh, Oh, someone has said, ma'am, you're not answering my question. So sorry, I don't know which question are you talking about. It says an anonymous attendee, and poor thing is sent a crying emoji also. In case you are asking about the extracurricular in the US, if you are that person, I have shared the number of the concerned person, and they will help you with it. I'm so sorry. Please write your name and let me know what the question is. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to miss upon any question. I'm just trying to, find the questions one by one. For medical, MBBS is offered in which countries and Ivy League offers? Okay, we'll talk about medical in a different webinar. I would like to know about the schedule of upcoming SAT exams and whether any universities are in Mumbai or other. Oh, you can check that online on the website itself. You will have the information available. Still, if you want us to help you, someone from the team can get in touch. Can anyone who is weak in studies get admission in India, in our India abroad? I didn't get that question. Can anyone who is weak in studies get admission in our India abroad college? What is, sir, if you could?
I didn't get the question even same. I think he mean to say if he's not good in studies, he'll still able to get admission in Indian universities through SAT. So yes, you could, if might be that is your question, but just try to reframe the question once what you wanted to ask.
Is SAT required for New Zealand or Australian universities for medicine?
So that's what I suggest. SAT is not a requirement. They will not ask for SAT scores, but what I'm trying to say, if your academic scores are not too good, might be some of you are taking dummy schools, or might be some of you are doing any other curriculum XYZ stuff. So you could give SAT to compensate that academic score. So that is one of the possibilities that is acceptable in Australian medical universities.
Someone named Pranit Sahu says, "Ma'am, you are so cute." Thank you so much, Pranit. Your cuter beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. What is the minimum score for getting an above average university in UK? Okay, now we're talking about UK.
So SAT is not a requirement for UK. definitely they'll not ask your SAT scores. Rather, they focus more on your grade 12 academic scores. So if you have a really good scores above 90%, 90 plus, then that is one of the requirement. But again, if you're tapping in some of the top universities like Oxford, Cambridge, Imperial, then they have their own exams that you need to prepare, which are as per the JEE level. One of them is TMUA and TSA.
Okay, cool. And for Australia?
Australia SAT is not a requirement, as I mentioned, but to compensate if your scores are not good, you could showcase your SAT things if your grade 10, 11, 12 scores are not too promising.
Are IVs going to ban international students as Harvard did?
No, never. Actually, these policies changes, and definitely I must say that wait for a year or so, everything will be on track. And definitely why they will ban, I mean, whatever research and whatever, I mean, opportunities that been erasing, that is only because of international students. So never ever think that they will ban you. You will always have an option to be there in the US itself. And for mark my words, this situation will be fine in next 1 or 2 years.
I have cleared the C1 advanced level of Cambridge English. So, what is the level of English of SAT as compared to that? I'd say these are two absolutely different things. The type of English that is questioned in the SAT exam and the Cambridge exam is absolutely different. This requires some other level of English and this requires some other sort of understanding. But you will be able to get through. I'm sure you're not going to struggle with standard English conventions or something like that. Can you explain about Blue Book? That is an official resource of the College Board to practice. Is the level of SAT easier than JEE or not? We've already answered this. Ma'am, I am weak in studies. Can I apply for SAT? Please don't consider yourself weak. Please don't. Have faith in your ability. You are calling yourself weak. Let the SAT diagnostic test determine that for you. Don't undersell your skill set. Sit for the diagnostic test, see where do you stand, see where are you struggling, try working on it. ऐसा नहीं है. Don't undersell yourself.
Sorry,
There's
I'm interrupting here, ma'am, but I feel there are certainly three attendees where they're raising hands from a long time. We'll just take 2 minutes and ask whatever they're,
yeah.
yeah. So I'll just give access to Chandra Mohan. Hi, Chandra, how are you?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we could.
Yeah, yeah. So my question is, my kid is studying in 11th in Allen. So should she try for both SAT and JE? And is it better if she completes SAT in 11th itself, so that she will be free in 12th?
Definitely, Mr. Chandra, I specifically suggest all my students try to give in grade 11 your first attempt, considering the fact in one attempt you will never get a like great scores what I have seen. So might be
Okay.
two attempts you need to give. So if you give one attempt in grade 11, you could try for a second attempt in grade 12.
Okay. So wouldn't it be too much for her? Yeah, for her
For
12th.
sure
That is
not,
the only
because
concern.
if she prepare in grade 11 itself, let's say 2 to 3 months you invest in the
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's some
Yeah.
that went
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks.
that's it. I
Thanks.
think your question is answered. Is there anything else that I
Yeah.
can help you with?
No, nothing. Nothing. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. The next person here is Chandra Joshita.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
Ma'am, what is the minimum score to get in?
Hi. Sorry, I think you just got muted. Yes, please go ahead.
What is the minimum score in SAT to get into NTU, which is in Singapore?
Anything above 1500 or 1550 is fine.
And how many months is enough to get like 1500 in SAT? Like how many months preparation?
Sit for a SAT
Advance?
diagnostic test so that we are able to know where exactly do you stand right now. I don't want to come up with a random number here right now. Sit
Okay.
for the diagnostic test. We would see where do you stand, where are you struggling, what type of questions are the so
ಮೊಸರು ಬಜ್ಜಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬೇಕಾ ಆಚೆನೆ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ಯಾ ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ
yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
So if you are not struggling with a lot of complex questions, so it will not take you a lot of time. So I think in a month or so you would be eligible, or maybe you must be in the right position to sit for the next exam.
And one more question. This is my final question. Is traditional SAT paper like going to the center and giving it is easy, or it has more advantage, or digital SAT has more advantage?
There's no traditional SAT now, everything is digitalized.
Oh, okay. Thank you. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Okay. Rakib, do you have a question? We'll allow you to talk. Hi, Rakib Desai, are you there?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are. Loud and clear.
Ma'am, I want to ask you one question of that. How much scores for having university in German or in USA? That I'm interested in aerospace and aeronautical engineering. Hello.
It depends upon what university are you targeting, but if you're targeting something like Ivy League, so anything above 1500 or 1550 is good.
Okay. And I want to go for a center for SAT or an online exam.
Yeah,
Because
even you can take your own laptop. You can request a device also. Try requesting it 30 days in advance.
Okay.
And yeah. That's it?
No, ma'am. One more question. 11th standard. 11th standard. Hello.
You're audible. Please go ahead. Rakib, I can hear you. You're audible. Hello. Hello, you there? Okay. We'll give a chance to Siddhant to speak because he too has raised his hand. Hi, Siddhant. You have raised your hand.
Yes, ma'am. Hello. Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, first of all, it was a nice presentation that you showed us. It was very nice. I
Sweet.
understood a lot of things from it.
Mm-hmm.
And a few questions have already been answered from that presentation you showed us. But one question is, like, I'm currently studying in Aden as well. I'm currently in 12th, but my main question is, I'm not sure whether I'll go for higher studies or so. But if I do give this SAT exam, is it eligible for Indian universities as well, or it's only for abroad?
It is eligible. Angit sir did show the names of the universities that were eligible. You can go back to the recording of the webinar to see the
Okay.
list of the universities. In case you still have any questions, you can always get in touch with us.
Okay. And what about German universities? Is this SAT exam valid over there?
No, it is not mandatory, but yes, you can attach it with your application. That's what Angit sir just mentioned.
Okay, so it is like accepted. Like if it, I mean, if you just give the entrance exam of the college or the university in Germany or any other abroad country, you can also give AT exam, right? The scores. I mean, they accept that.
Yeah, but that will not serve as a substitute of any other exam.
Oh, okay. So that is just the secondary exam that you can show to make your acceptance rate go high.
Yeah, that will add on to your profile.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's all.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Siddhant. Lovely speaking to you.
Thank you. You too.
We have another student, Tanishka. Yes, Tanishka.
हाय मैम हाय
Hi.
मैम आई एम इन 10th ग्रेड और मैं 8th से जेई की प्रिपरेशन कर रही हूँ और मुझे यूएस की यूनिवर्सिटीज लाइक स्टैनफोर्ड और एमआईटी में इंटरेस्टेड हूँ यूजी एजुकेशन के लिए तो मुझे सैट का स्कोर कितना लाना होगा मिनिमम
1550. Angit sir mentioned anything above 1500 and 1550 is good.
और मैम एपी स्कोर्स मैटर करते हैं क्या
Yes.
ओके एंड अभी तो मैं 10th में हूँ बट स्टैनफोर्ड जैसी यूनिवर्सिटी के लिए मुझे 11th में कौन से बोर्ड में एडमिशन लेना होगा, लाइक सीबीएसई, आईबी और कैम्ब्रिज?
So I think Tanishka, more or less, I always tell boards have some preferences. IB, British curriculum, have like a first preference. Second is your CBSE and ICSE, and third is your state boards. So all in all, if you do from IB board, definitely you'll get a preference in a lot of universities.
ओके सर।
Okay, thank
Perfect.
you, Anushka.
Nice
Anushka,
talking to you,
good.
Tanishka.
Nice talking to
हाँ,
you.
थैंक
Have a
यू,
nice
बाय।
Sunday. Okay. One last attendee, Delisha. Hi,
Yeah,
Delisha.
hi ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning, जी. Afternoon हो गया है अब.
um, my question was कि I'm studying currently in 10th standard, so I can appear for SAT exams.
Yes.
And matlab, these scores will be valid till like what time?
Till what time, as in?
5 years, 5 years.
Acha, the score. Okay. Yeah, 5 years.
Okay, thank you.
Anytime.
Anytime. Thanks, Delisha. Have a nice Sunday.
You too.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. I am so sorry. We are running short of time. We might not be able to take more questions, but we do have the number in the chat box. Please get in touch with our team. We will have more of such sessions. The next Sunday also we have a session. You can always join in. We would love to hear from you. In the meanwhile, if you have something really important, or maybe you want us to address it before the next Sunday, you have the contact number in the chat box. Feel free to get in touch with us at any point in time. When I say any point in time, please don't call us at night. Please call us during the day, but we'll be happy to answer all your questions. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. Sir, we have one last student. Gayatri who has just raised the hand. I don't know why. I just don't want to leave the students like that. Can
I
we?
think that's fine.
Yeah, okay. Gayatri, you're the lucky one. Please go ahead. Quick 10 seconds.
Ma'am, good afternoon. So my question is that I'm studying in ICSE curriculum and I'm studying in 9th grade. So my question is that do I have to study anything extra, or what I'm studying, like the level of my studies is necessary?
So hi Gayatri. First of all, as an additional, definitely your SAT could be one of the additional prep that you need to do. And if you're tapping in US as your primary option, then I must say try to give certain APs, which will be an additional prep that you need to do for some of the subjects might be that you're not studying currently. So that's the only two things, but that is, I must say, for the US. I am not sure what you wanted to do, but if you want like a more detailed answer, definitely you could connect over the call post this session.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. We will answer the next questions. I mean, the rest of the question. We'll try to answer those questions either telephonically, or you can join the next webinar, which will be the next Sunday. I mean, the coming Sunday, or before that, you can get in touch with our team. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you have a nice Sunday. We look forward to getting more of such questions. And you can call us or you can WhatsApp us. The number is there in the chat box. Please take a note of the number. And you can always get in touch with us. Thank you so much. Wish you a nice weekend and a good Sunday. Thank you
Have
so
a great day, guys. Bye bye. Take
much.
care.
Bye.
Thank you.